Brooke, owner of Straight Up Sales Orthodontic Coaching, and I'm so happy that you're here. My goal whenever providing valuable information, insight, recommendations for treatment coordinator training, your new patient experience, or ways to increase conversion rate, elevate same-day contracts, and grow in practice success and profitability, it all comes from a desire that you won't just be inspired by what I have to say, but that you will implement it. So I say this all the time when I'm private coaching. Information without implementation is simply information. So don't just get inspired, don't think it's a great idea, but really practice, implement, try it for yourself. That is my hope, that's my goal, and that's how we go from wherever you are today to something that's better. I believe that we can all better our best, and that coaching isn't just for those who are suffering. We see this with elite athletes and with premier professionals across every industry. If you want to better your best, sometimes that comes with the coaching and guidance, the insight and perspective of someone other than yourself. And within orthodontics, we live in such a bubble, and every practice is unique, and it should be, and it's based on personality and culture, and that's fantastic. But how do shoppers know the difference? Have you ever sit back and really think about what is it that they're comparing? Do they know how to compare? And are you educating people in ways during your consultation that would allow them to truly differentiate between you and another option when they're comparing? If it's just coming down to the dollar value and they think that braces are braces, straight teeth are straight teeth, it doesn't matter, or they're thinking about it based on who's 5 minutes closer to home, you didn't do your job well enough. You have an opportunity in your pre-sales process and during your consultation to differentiate yourself from everyone else. And it's not just the tech and tools that you use, and it isn't just where the doctor went to school, and it isn't just the culture of the office. And of course, all of those things are wonderful, they're important, and we need to lean into those things during the sales process, but it goes beyond that. What we know is that people make emotional buying decisions. Where do they feel valued? Where do they feel safe? Where do they feel confident? So are you leaning into that sales process as a real human to human connection, caring for a whole person, not just a set of teeth? Or are you pretty clinical and methodical or repetitive in the way that you're hosting those consultations, just sharing information, hoping that they're going to pick you? There's a big difference. You can share the necessary information that educates them in your expertise, your vision for their treatment plan, in a way that connects with their emotional need, makes them feel safe, and earns their trust. Or you can simply present information and leave it up to them for what they decide. And if that's what you're doing, you are probably experiencing a lot of people who are shopping around, who are going home to think about it, who are confused. Maybe they're calling back and I'm not sure what to decide, and I'm going back and forth between this and that. Or they're just telling you, if they're answering at all, that they haven't decided yet. They haven't made a decision. It's because they don't know how. You're not doing your job well enough if you are leaving your prospects in a position where they don't know what to decide. This is a meeting opportunity to come to a point of decision making. And the treatment coordinator is the guide. So whether you are including the doctor in the consultations or doing doctorless consultations, the treatment coordinator needs to be an advocate for understanding what the patient wants and needs, what they know and what they don't know, what they're excited about and what they're afraid of. The treatment coordinator needs to be asking questions that invite sharing, and the treatment coordinator needs to get the patient to a place of confidence, comfort, trust, and buy-in before they meet the doctor. And if it isn't I had a consultation where the doctor is included, if it is a doctorless, then the treatment coordinator needs to have the prospect bought in and ready to get started before money is discussed. Now, this isn't to say that money isn't a deciding factor and it isn't as important and it doesn't come with things to figure out. But if that's the primary concern for someone and you learn that at the beginning of the consultation, that should be discussed first, not saved until the end. And if their primary concern is schedule or efficiency of treatment, discomfort, you're going to talk about that right away. But if we're not asking enough questions and leaning in and really approaching the new patient experience from the perspective of caring deeply and treating a whole person, really establishing a human to human connection that earns trust, then all you're doing is throwing information at the wall and hoping something sticks. And I did that as a treatment coordinator. I had the script. I talked about all the things I was supposed to in every one of my appointments. I had a 60% conversion rate. I followed up all the time. People didn't respond. It was frustrating. It was stressful. It's a lot of work. And it's also discouraging to not feel like you're very good at your job. The difference, the way that I got to that 90% conversion and so many same day starts that I hardly had to follow up, came from flipping the script. It really ditching the script and just asking questions and learning what it was that people needed, what they wanted, what they were afraid of, what they cared about, and then attaching the service and the transformation and the value of what my practice could do for that individual as a one-on-one. Not this is what we do for everyone, but this is what we'll do for you. This is why this is the best answer for you. So it comes from caring and it comes from confidence and it comes from knowledge. And to be this kind of treatment coordinator, this kind of sales leader for the practice requires leadership. It requires ownership of the position. It requires self-competition. It requires that you want a 99.9% conversion rate, even if that's not possible, even if the practice goal is 80%. You want 50 starts if the practice goal is 45. You want 100% conversion days over and over again, even if it's not in your comp structure to get paid for same day starts. To be the kind of advocate on behalf of a practice, on behalf of a business that really grows it, you have to care not just about your job, of course, doing your expectations, but you have to care like a career, care with ownership over what you're doing, and care deeply for your patients.